So when it comes to picking the right rod, reel, and line to do this kind of frog fishing, I mean, we're talking full combat, super heavy cover frog fishing, I'm incredibly picky. You know why I'm picky? It's because this is unlike probably anything else outside of slot mat fishing that you can do in bass fishing. You need a rod that's going to be able to cast a long distance. And that's unique compared to all the other, hyacinth mat and toolies and fishing, anything you're pitching and underhand flipping. The rod action doesn't make that much of a difference, but when you're throwing a frog, you need two things: long distance casting and accuracy, but that soft tip and lots of backbone are critical to drive the hook in and to get the fish out. For me, length is important. I'm 6 feet tall. I throw 7'6" to 7'11" frog rods. This is a 7'7" Expride. This rod is fast action, but it's heavy power. You want heavy power. And the reason I like this rod, which was really designed for big swim baits, is because it's got such a soft tip, which allows me to load it when I'm using a 1/2 ounce frog, and it allows me accuracy. But when I set the hook, the backbone locks in about the 5th guide down, and I can drag that fish out of the heaviest cover. When it comes to a reel, high gear ratio is what you want, but you need a reel that really is going to have a lot of body to it, a lot of torque. This is a torque monster. I'm using a Bantam, which is a core solid reel, which means that the frame is one piece, all metal frame. The gear ratio is an 8.1 to 1. This one brings in around 35 or 36 inches of line per handle turn. So having an all metal body, good tough gearing, this has got micro module gearing, and a high speed gear ratio is going to go a long way as well. The best part about this reel is it's an MGL reel, so casting is a breeze even when you're down to a 3/8 ounce frog. It's really designed to cast light baits and heavy baits equally well. For line, I'm not going to do this without PowerPro, plain and simple. People can talk about using fluorocarbon and whatever they want to talk about, and people are going to jump online, and I remember doing old frog videos where people complained how I used too heavy of a line and you don't need 65-pound test. Bull. You don't want to break off? Use 65-pound test. You want to run the risk of breaking off? Go ahead and say 30 is enough, maybe 40 is enough, maybe even 50. But for me, the way I fish in the cover that I'm fishing, I break 50-pound test, so I move up to 65-pound or even 80 depending on the cover. I'm using Maxcuatro. It's a 4-strand carrier braid. 0 stretch, 0 memory, super sensitive, but most importantly, super thin and strong, so I can load a lot of it on my reel and get good casting distance. If you can set yourself up with all those things, you're pretty ready to go frog fishing. Right in the arrowhead, that one. So much stuff. Barely hooked here, decent fish. Oh, that's what we're looking for. That is a little better. That is a little better. I like it. Look at the salad on that thing. Whew. Gorgeous fish, gorgeous. Oh. I mean, that is as exciting as it can get. That frog hit the water inside the arrowheads and he smashed it. So my next move, we've got some arrowheads in the area, is to check them all, because that could be a pattern. One thing you got to remember, patterns change hour by hour sometimes. It's not a daily thing. Cloud cover, wind direction change will change the pattern sometimes. And catching fish like this makes it all a bonus. Got him. I saw him twitch like 10 feet to the right. Come on. Funny, people always say, oh, you got too heavy of braid or you got too heavy of a rod, but it's a lot of cover you're dealing with in this stuff. I mean, if you don't have, you know, 65-pound or 80-pound PowerPro, and you don't have a heavy rod that's longer, it makes it real tough to get these fish out. Even though they're small, it's not about the size of the fish, it's the type of cover you're dealing with.